You better be ready. Coffee and everything else. I mean, come on. We feed you coffee, you know, let you talk about your stuff, and you come in here and go, oh, wait a minute, I'm not done. I need a little time.
Exactly.
All of a sudden, you've become this prima donna, Kristian.
You don't even need to introduce me anymore.
Pretty much. Most people do recognize your voice, but for those who maybe have just found us, it is Kristian Day. And I'm not sure what title you want to go under this time, because you have so many. It kind of depends on what you're working on. Filmmaker, producer, director, community leader, mover, shaker. I mean,
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm one of the 4 coordinators for what we're talking about is Home Movie Day.
Yeah. Let's talk about Home Movie Day. What is Home Movie Day, first of all?
Well, this is actually the 10th year for Home Movie Day, but it's the first year in Des Moines. It's a national event that was started by a group that actually I don't know all their names, but they have an organization called the Center of Home Movies. And it started out in the East Coast. And what they do is they have one day a year, they have people bring in their 8mm, Super 8, and 16mm home movies.
Okay.
Most of them came from the 40s, the 50s, 60s, some in the 70s, and then after that it was kind of video came out.
Right.
And we screen them publicly, and people can talk about them. I mean, it's like a time capsule.
Oh, okay. Very cool. So it's actually home movies.
Home movies on film.
And no tape.
No tape.
No
No
tape.
video.
This is all actual film medium then.
All reels. We brought in 3 dual 8 projectors, and we have 2 16mm projectors, and we're going to be screening on October 20th at the State Historical Building in their auditorium.
Okay, very cool. Very nice setting for this.
Very nice setting, and our due date for submissions is this Friday.
Okay, so how do people get involved with this? How do they submit their home movies, and why should they submit their home movies?
To submit them, the contact information is on our Facebook page, Home Movie Day Des Moines.
Okay.
Sarah Oltrog, who is in charge of PR at the Department of Cultural Affairs, she is her and her partner Mark Hagan are working on that, are taking all the submissions and they're reviewing them.
Mm-hmm.
Why they should? Well, a lot of people haven't really taken care of these things. It's preservation. There was a big push in the 90s to put them on VHS tapes and then put them on DVD.
Oh yeah.
But there's something about showing the real, and a lot of them haven't been maintained. Some of them we actually can't show because if you smell them, they smell vinegar. You can't play them.
Right.
They'll be ruined.
I was going to say, not only will the film be ruined, that smell also will ruin the projector that you run it through. So
there's a certain quality to something that was shot on film versus something that was shot on video.
Right.
John Waters quoted, he's a big fan of Home Movie Day,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, "There is no such thing as a bad home movie." And
he never saw any of mine.
Well, if you think about the films that he started with, his early films, Pink Flamingo.
Oh yeah, I'm a Waters fan, so some of that stuff is
Mondo
really
Bizarro,
really cheesy, really grainy, and really low production quality, almost like a home movie.
Exactly.
But it's really entertaining stuff.
It is. I mean, even from my own background, some of the films that I've made, such as the films I made with Patrick Boltinghouse, I mean, that was almost home movie style.
Yeah.
He calls me up, "Hey, what are you doing? I'm in makeup and I have a bird. Are you home?" and we shoot these things in my home, and then that film that I'm talking about, Cocteau, goes off and plays in Italy. It plays in Greece and played in Cuba, in which not many filmmakers have played in Cuba. It was basically a home movie. So there's things that you can find in these films that you really can't find anywhere else, and you forget about them. Reviewing some of the footage that I've already seen, there was a sense of high quality to them. My girlfriend Alyssa, her dad shot a lot of their home movies, and some of the earliest stuff that I've seen was, I actually stole this from her DVD cabinet. She didn't know I took them, and I made our promo, which you can find online. The Home Movie Day,
cool.
2012 promo, and watching how he was framing them. I mean, it was awesome looking at these things, and a lot of things could have been lost if people didn't have those Super 8 cameras.
Well, and here's another thing. This is a chance for people that if they've been putting off, I wonder what's on this film. I wonder what, it's a way for you to actually get it out and check it out too, and help for this home movie day thing that's coming up. So
Dave Thrasher submitted some films, and he had a box full of animations he did on 8mm.
Oh, really?
And I mean, claymation, drawings, things like that. I mean, so it's not just a bunch of people's living room, Christmases and things like that.
Right.
I mean, he actually was making pictures.
Oh, okay. So we're actually talking about production, somewhat short features a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, Sam Twomey from Put It On Video and the coordinator for the 48-hour film project is submitting a reel of one of his first movies that was shot on 16mm.
Very cool.
And in this town, there's only a handful of filmmakers, and I unfortunately cannot even be part of this, that have actually shot on film.
Right.
He is one of them, and he is submitting a 16mm reel for us to spin. I mean, that's amazing?
That is so cool. I was watching a documentary one time about Steven Spielberg, and they were talking about how he got into film. And he got into film that way. He used to shoot home movies, and then he wound up going, well, I don't want to just sit around taking movies of my family at Christmas. He would sneak the movie camera out, and he and his friends started making their own films too. And some of the stuff that they did as kids is amazing.
Oh, it's great stuff, and I really want to promote people to keep shooting. This is an example of why you should keep shooting.
Yeah.
Look at these things that we're finding. Riverside Park. We have footage of Riverside Park.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's actually, some of it's in our promo. That was one of Alyssa when she was, very little.
Right.
Riding the little train with a very grumpy face. But, I mean, those things that don't exist, I would love to find, if anyone has it, and I might be, this might be before the time of 8mm, but, Waterbury used to be a golf course, and there used to be a Lake Ingersoll. Now, I'm guessing that's probably too far back.
Never know. I mean, you might be able to find somebody that's part of a historical society or part of the old makeup of that place that might have a clue as to where they can find it.
I mean, it'd be fantastic to find something like that. Or you look at the Brady Bunch kids. They all were given 8mm cameras by the guy that played the dad. He gave them all cameras, and they released a DVD of all their home movies of them running around at events and things like, because they were their own family.
Right.
It's absolutely fantastic material. Jennifer Dawson actually got a hold of me and said that she had footage of when Khrushchev was here and on a farm.
Very cool.
I mean, that's amazing stuff.
So we're talking about home movies that are actually somewhat, like you said, more or less a time capsule, and to see the historical happenings, and not only that, but there are people that have actually done projects on film and done various different things for this.
I mean, it's great material. And I hope it promotes preservation. People learn from it. They need to take care of these things. Unfortunately, we don't have any type of local film preservation going on. There's no department at the historical building yet.
Well, I sense Kristian Day's next project in mind
of
getting together as a preservation society, maybe.
I don't necessarily think I want to personally do it, but I would like to see them get something going. Mark Hagen, who just moved back from Los Angeles. He used to work for Deluxe and did a lot of post-production work. He had just finished a film called Lost Cinemas of Des Moines. It was about the old movie theaters of Des Moines back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and so forth. He and I were discussing about taking, we want to get through one more year of Home Movie Day, but then putting a compilation DVD together of just Des Moines home movies and releasing that. And
I think that sounds like a great idea.
And then what I'm going to do with some of the footage is we're going to release to the theaters that I distribute to pre-show material so they can play before even the movie trailers. It'd be like, historical Iowa or some type of preservation of Iowa, and you should see these 30-second home movies of somewhere, something nostalgic. I think there's a really big interest in things that are. I mean, even look at East Village. Look at all the vintage shops that are now popping up everywhere. There's a new interest in that, and I really want people to not just think of it as something of a novelty, but to say we need to take care of these things.
Yeah, well, I think this home movie day may actually help that. If people come and see what kind of history is being preserved on film, maybe they'll be motivated to even do more to preserve it. and actually make a proactive effort to get out there and do that. Again, Home Movie Day is coming up Saturday, October 20th. And the movies will be shown at the State Historical Museum, which is at 600 East Locust in Des Moines. Now, you can still submit, and the deadline to submit is this Friday, correct?
This Friday.
This Friday.
Yeah.
So if they need any information about what they can, what they should submit, what formats or anything, is that available on the Facebook page as well?
It's on the Facebook page, or you can email me at Kristian Day, KRISTIANDAY at gmail.com. I can answer some questions. I actually should be giving you Mark and Sarah's email. However, I don't have that memorized. So I will take them, and then I will either answer them or forward them on. And again, on the 20th, we will screen from 12 to 4 at the auditorium in the State Historical Building.
All right. You're more than welcome to come back before the 20th and tell us how it's setting up. But we'd love to hear from you, and always a pleasure to have you by as a guest. And thank you so much. Do appreciate it. Kristian Day, whatever title you want to wear today, it's yours. Does so many things for the community and filmmaker extraordinaire. Part of Home Movie Day coming up Saturday, October 20th at the State Historical Museum. You can find out more by asking Kristian. Go to Facebook or just keep listening. We'll have details here at 99.1 KFMG. Here's the new one from Keane. It's called Silenced by the Night.